Teams for the abduction in cross-border raid. Imo State Police seal hotel and mortuary linked to suspected kidnappers. Outside Nigeria, Guatemala town shocked by Christmas shooting. In business, farmers struggle despite food surplus. In sports, Brighton's Rota saves point with last-minute equalizer against West Ham. And in the world of entertainment, Queen Mercy defends herself amid online backlash. Do also subscribe to our YouTube channel. On YouTube, we are Voice of the People TV, and on other social media platforms, we are at VOP TV Live. If you witness news happening near you, we want to hear from you. Send your eyewitness reports, event coverage requests, photos or videos directly via WhatsApp to 0814-606-4057. You can also reach our newsroom by email at news@vop.ng. I am Chioma Innocent. Thank you for watching.
From the views on the street,
we go to bed empty hunger,
to the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lodge.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills three things that makes a society.
Representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society.
It's a beautiful VOP this morning. I am Moses Humphrey. And of course, Nigerians are talking. A lot of things happened over the weekend. One of them was the attempted coup in Benin Republic, neighbors to Nigeria from the Lagos axis. But, of course, how that was foiled and Nigeria's involvement in all of it. All of that conversation has been on social media, and we've been talking about it. We just might delve into it in the course of the program. But anyway, let me take you through some of the other conversations that we will focus on this morning. 2027 election depends on security, economy. This is coming from Northern Youths. Serap urges INEC to account for missing 5.9 billion naira. ADC to Obi, make up your mind now. These are the conversations on our table this morning. Come along with us and let's dissect it together.
Yes, let's dissect them together. Good morning and thanks for joining us. I am Chukwuma Okoro. Yes, most Nigerians are talking about the coup in Benin. They are also asking questions. Anyway, we'll talk about all of that in the course of the program. I am Chukwuma Okoro.
All right, and I'm Fina Okechukwu, and you want to ask a question of how you're going to be part of this family. It's very simple. We'll be reading it out every day during the shows, and we'll continue to do it until we have you on board. Just so do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you've not done that on YouTube, we are at Voice of the People TV, and across other streaming platforms, we are at VOP TV Live. We also have a website where you can just visit and get your fresh and trending stories. And the website is www.vop.ng. And talking about other trending stories, the Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma says that President Bola Tinubu's administration is starting to see tangible results from its reforms. And this is coming, despite the current economic hardship that Nigerians are talking about. He made this revelation during the APC stakeholders meeting in Lagos. Uzodinma linked Nigeria's pre-Tinubu era to a barren woman, saying the president's policies are like fertility drugs that will revive economic productivity and then maybe further give birth to children. Uzodinma praised Nigeria for their resilience in the face of economic difficulties. He further expressed confidence that Nigeria would overcome its security challenges. The governor questioned the sources of funding for criminal network. That particular question is what most Nigerians have been asking. Some are asking, is it coming from the government? Are we seeing, Western Bloc trying to help or sponsor these terrorists? And Nigerians are asking the government to make available the names of the terrorism financiers being given to them by UAE and all that. Uzodinma highlighted that the Renewed Hope Ambassador Initiative is set to establish 1,000 active businesses in every ward. Interesting one. I believe that some will say he is trying to sing the praises of his paymasters. Others will ask, maybe he's doing something. Recall he's the governor that pushed the minimum wage of the state, 104,000, and also increased the payment of the salary for medical practitioners in the state. Maybe it's really working. And with the increased FAC allocation too, a whole lot is playing out within Nigeria as a nation under this particular administration. And Nigerians are asking what is really happening, what is playing out, where are we getting to this? Is it only 1,000 persons that is suffering the issue of, economic meltdown in Nigeria? Because you say something about active businesses across wards, 1,000 from the Hope Ambassador Initiative. If we're to do that in Imo State, what happened to somewhere in Borno State? What is going to play out in Plateau, where people are being killed en masse? Is it going to play out also in Benue, where people are living in IDP camps? So where are these active businesses? Where are we going to establish them? Is it in the IDPs, when people have not returned back to their ancestral homes and all that? Okay, fine. If you say that before the coming of this present administration, Nigeria is more like a barren woman, and then you people are bringing the fertility drugs. I, for one, want to see it play out. We'll have the conversation behind the camera before the director came on us about how the economy is no longer nosediving. It's already there. And how people can easily move around from one place to another then, without breaking the bank, and what it's playing out at this time. Nigerians need a little relief. From January 1, 2026, we'll have a new tax and all that. And people are asking, how are we going to navigate around all this? It's really a question we need to ask.
Oh, yes, of course. Questions and more questions on the lips of Nigerians. Fertility drug, Governor Hope Uzodinma says. I wonder when, like Fina said, bring forth, when will the baby be born? When? It's been, what now, 24 months? A little over that, actually. And we want to know when. Oh yes, a few things have been done. A few commendations to this administration in the area of, floating the Naira, in the area of subsidy removal, to curtail the activities of those that are milking the nation dry. But the question remains, with those achievements, we'll still see borrowings. In fact, borrowings have escalated. And we start to ask, with more money to governors, to states, it's not trickling down. The people are not seeing the benefits of the increase in FAC allocation. FAC allocation has increased by about 43% or thereabouts. But people are not seeing it. We're not seeing the benefit of it. It's not trickling down. And yes, like Fina rightly pointed out, the government seems to be, planning on taxing the people even more as 2026 approaches. And then you start to ask the question, if the elite, the political elite in particular, are singing the praises of the people, of the government, I beg your pardon, and the people are saying something different, and then you ask, who is the government for? For the elite or the people? There are a lot of questions that need answering, that need answers. And as Hope Uzodinma and the Governors Forum of Southwest Governors and the rest of them sing the praises of this administration, the government should know that Nigerians are not happy. A lot of Nigerians are pained. There is still difficulty in providing food. Putting food on the table is a Herculean task as it is. So if you cannot meet the needs of the common man, what then are you doing there? Oh well. we wait to see the delivery of this baby, as it were.
Delivery of this baby. Moses, let me start from where you stopped. You said that Nigeria, they should know that Nigerians are not happy. Permit me to disagree with you. I think Nigerians are happy. Any day Nigerians become unhappy, they know what to do. Nobody will tell them. It's not Moses that will tell them. It's not Chukuma that will tell them. Any day Nigerians become unhappy, they know what to do. Now, when you have people like Hope Uzodinma in government, this is the kind of responses that you get. Oh, well, I don't blame him. Why wouldn't the economic policies of this government make be beneficial to him? He lives in a government house. The government fills his car. The government pays for his food. The government pays for his medicals and everything around and about it. Probably, if I were in his position, with my background in public communications, I might even do better than him in hyping this government. Now, when people in government, people like a governor who attends National Economic Council meeting, begins to ask the source of funding for criminal network, what does it tell you? It simply tells you that they are unthinking. He's unthinking. If he attends NEC meeting, and so when they go there, what do they discuss? How to share VAT, how to share oil money.
Back allocation.
That's all that they talk about. So if he's asking me, asking Nigerians, the source of funding for criminal network, what it simply means that we have lost intelligence. So I think what they should do is to disband the intelligence and start build it afresh. Build it afresh. Now he's saying that Nigeria was almost collapsed before Tinubu came in. Now let's look at the numbers. Inflation, where was inflation before Tinubu came in? Where is it now? The exchange rate, where was it? Where is it now? Unemployment rate, where was let it not be that it is Chukuma that given out these figures. Go online, check out these figures. Go to National Bureau of Statistics, their website. You see all of these figures, the numbers, they speak for themselves. And they keep thinking, taking Nigerians as fools or what. No, we are not. We are very happy people. Any day we get angry, we know what to do. Nobody will tell us. It's quite unfortunate that we have people in government who the only thing they know is to, they have a false sense of accomplishment. That's what I always say. Fina talked about 104,000 naira minimum wage. And so what? So what does it buy? What can it buy for people? How many people are employed in the Imo State Civil Service? How about the rest of us that are not employed by government? What do we do? Where do we go to? Who do we run to? So these are critical questions. Until the mass of the people begin to feel the weight, the impact, the benefits of those economic policies, anything that we are talking about is merely soundbite. But I don't expect the governor to come and say, no, that things are difficult, things are hard. No, he wouldn't say that, because elections are around the corner, 2027, everybody wants to return to office and all of that. So the only thing they need to do is to keep, pushing it into the psychic of the gullible that, look, this government is doing well. And one thing, these people in government, it is Nigerians that, like you and I, that support them. Open social media, you see them flock around them, sing their praises and all of that. For how long are we going to live like that? Oh well, Nigerians know the truth. Whether this economy is moving forward, whether it's making progress or going backward, Nigerians know. So I expect that in 2027 we'll
I think
take
a lot of Nigerians are just being hopeful. And the reason Nigerians cannot come together to confront the political class is because of our diversity. We have been so separated along our usual fault lines, that it becomes difficult.
Very extremely. I do agree with you. I align my thoughts with yours. That is the truth, honestly. Anyway, let's move away from that. Nigeria is a work in progress, and I just pray that one good day we'll get things right. Now, the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has invited Indibo in Nigeria and the diaspora to celebrate Christmas in the southeast, assuring them of adequate security during the Yuletide. While IPOB spokesperson Emma Powerful said the region remains Nigeria's most tranquil zone, with improved security conditions despite sponsored instability over the past 4 years. IPOB also dismissed reports of kidnapping on the Owerri-Aba Expressway as old and false. The group encouraged Indibo to return home in large numbers for Christmas and invest in the region, urging them not to be deterred by fear or insecurity narratives. Well, it is a good call. I don't know if you saw the video on that is viral now.
No fear.
No, that somebody that looks like a ragtag kidnapper terrorist, you know, saying that look, they have arrived at Abia State and they are ready to destroy everything and everything.
Yeah, I saw that video.
Yes, that video.
Sometime last week.
Sometime last week. Now that is what people are making reference to, say like, my son called and said, look, I want to go back home. I said, why? He said, how will I travel between Umuahia and Enugu and all of that? I said, he said there are terrorists everywhere in Abia State and all of that. I said, no, it is false. You know, it's an old video. And if you look at, see, it's more like AI generated. It doesn't look real. It doesn't look real. And the Abia State Police Command has dispelled, you know, has debunked that video. It is not real. I think they are in control of the situation. But that is not to say that that we don't have pockets of kidnappings here and there, especially in the farmlands. You know, we have these terrorists that maraud and kill people once in a while and all of that. Oh well, Southeast used to be a safe haven until Nigeria happened to it. And so now that we are approaching Christmas, you see people flying from Europe, flying from America, Asia, and what do? They step back in Lagos, they ask their relations, you know, to come from the Southeast, see them, visit them, they stay, give them whatever they want, and go back, you know, where they are coming from. Why? Because they don't want to go to the Southeast and they are kidnapped.
See, the video you talked about is instructive. It might be AI generated, it might be old, but I think with the current, with this call by IPOB and the shooting yesterday, there was a shooting yesterday in Northia, for Market Junction, Northia, somewhere in Anambra
State.
Yes.
There was shooting yesterday. Unknown gunmen. People could not identify the reason. They didn't rob anybody. They
Maybe
just
they wanted to
came
make
in
a
their
statement.
numbers. I think the report says about 5 to 10 of them came in, opened fire on people. 4 confirmed dead, multiple others injured, and they left. And
up until this moment,
Up
we
until
don't
this
have information that have been apprehended.
Nobody knows who they are.
Nobody
has
knows who
taken
they are.
credit for it.
No statement from the Commissioner of Police, from
No
the Police
statement,
Command, and all
nothing.
of that.
So with that incident, and then you hear, you know, IPOB saying we will secure. So you start to wonder who is interested in causing panic
In the
southeast.
Some governors have already told you that some of these attacks and all that are politically motivated. Some have
Because
come up
if
to
IPOB
say,
can say-
some have come up to say
the Anambra
that.
election is gone.
No, the thing, no, apart from the Anambra State election, I think Alex Oti once said something about the killings or the shooting in Abia State doesn't have anything to do with the IPOB, saying that it's political motivated. Then if you go back to Imo State also and check what is happening there, some people have also said that, you know, most of the attacks and the shooting and every other thing has the hands of some politicians in it. Take it back to Anambra and what is playing out too. It can still be another.
Let's do the case by case.
Okay.
Let's look at Anambra, politically motivated to what end? The elections are gone.
We have agreed members. You never can tell how they want
Okay, so
to
they want to
vote
make
out.
the state ungovernable for Soludo so that he will not win a third term.
Someone said it in
I'm just
Nigeria.
asking.
Someone said it in Nigeria. We saw that play
So
out.
if you go to Imo State now, you want to make Imo State ungovernable for Hope Uzodinma. He's on his second term. He's not coming back. You don't want him to install his stooge. Understood. Now you go to Abia State, you want to make it ungovernable so that Alex Oti wouldn't come back. Well, understandable. But the Abia
I don't think it's about making the states ungovernable. I think it's more about enforcing the narrative that there is insecurity in the southeast.
Okay, so that what will happen politically?
So that the narrative of IPOB, all right, or ESN or whatever, killing people to buttress the narrative around it being a terrorist organization is enforced.
No, okay, it's enforced. That's what I'm saying. So that when we say politically motivated, towards what end? You know, so that the 2027 elections will not hold in the Southeast or what?
I think it's for them to be able to ridicule first of all the IPOB to
Now,
prove a
but
point.
if you want
also,
to bring in the
and all
IPOB
that.
angle to it, Nnamdi Kanu is in jail. So they said he's the one causing
It could be
problems.
seen as further, a reaction to his continued detention.
Okay, so that they will now sentence
It could
him
be
to death or
anything.
what?
It could be
It could
anything.
be anything.
It could be
Can they
anything.
retry him and sentence, or can appeal court say, okay, instead of the jail life sentence?
No, they
sentence
may
him
not
to-
be able to retry or sentence him to death.
Okay.
But it will enforce the narrative that, look, the organization that he's linked to is a terrorist organization, which will in fact affect any political solution to his release.
Well, I don't know why people will go to that extent and to what end.
But I think the governor needs to speak up on this. The Northia killings, it happened yesterday evening. Let's know who these people are. Let's know who these people are. I mean, we should have intelligence. We should have intelligence.
Like, that's what I said.
And we should put it out there.
If we're asking questions about who did, if people in government are asking questions, who did this, who did, then you and I mean, what do we do?
And then if you're asking people to come home, of course, Nigerians want to go home. Southeasterners always want to go home.
You can't fly in from California, from New York, from Japan, and get stuck in Lagos. So what did you come to do?
I have people who were planning to travel today to the Southeast for a burial. But they couldn't because they had to look for a ticket for tomorrow because of the seat at home, the narrative of the seat at home. So it has affected a lot of things in the Southeast, and all we are asking for is stability. That's all that we are asking for.
Well, I think the call is for the governors of the Southeast, to rally together. And unfortunately, I can't recall the last time they held a meeting, and whenever they meet, I don't even know what they talk about. If security is not on the front.
You've been asking that question.
I've been asking that question. Whenever they meet, what exactly do they talk about?
All right, then we have another story. Fina.
Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has said that the All Progressives Congress, APC, gained the trust of Nigerians, evident in the party's growth from 18 to 19 governors, now to 25 governors. Sanwo-Olu stated this at the closing session of the two-day Progressive Governors Forum meeting in Lagos. Sanwo-Olu attributed the growth to Nigeria's trust in the APC vision and leadership. He commended his colleagues for their commitment to national development and loyalty to President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda. Interesting. Some Nigerians of the opinion that they don't really believe that it is the work or the good work of APC that made us to see the influx of governors from the different political parties to APC from 18, 19 now to 25. And I think with the likes of Adeleke, if he's to make up his mind to know where he's moving to, the number also increased. And that made me remember something that someone said before. They said that by 2026, they'll have 30 governors in the APC. But if you check out what is playing out, it doesn't really make sense. Yes, it's true. Some will say that opposition parties, they've not really put their house in order to make sure that things should be the way it is and all that. And Nigerians are asking, are we going to move into one-party system? Is that what is going to play out in Nigeria? You and I have the right to debate it. Yes, we can turn it into a bipolar discussion and all that and go back and forth and, shout. But from what is the trajectory, the movement that we're seeing now, for me, I am hoping, I'm seeing it to be that maybe opposition parties can come together and say, we don't want this to happen. But if it continues being this way, we're already moving into a one-party system. Check out what is playing out in the National Assembly. APC as a party already have a two-third majority. So they can easily, debate, and those in favor say, they are saying their eyes, and our Senate President is not wasting time to check how many people that were saying it before, using the gravel. And if you check it out, other people are asking questions. Why are we seeing some governors, who sometime before now have one or two, or more like a question to answer, migrate to this party? Is he that what the one time, rather still a stakeholder in the APC made mention of about how your sins be forgiven if you move to the party? Is it really playing out? The one I always talk about is the exodus, the movement of the governor and every other party member. I'm talking about the cabinet members now to APC, that of Delta State. You see that movement till tomorrow is, for me, is still, I think we really need to ask question what really played out in Delta. And then you check out what is playing out too in River State with the migration or the movement of the State House. Now they've officially joined APC. The same thing that caused problem. The same thing that took us to so many courts. The same thing that make us to have a peace accord.
You mean in River State?
Yes, in River State. The same story of I defect, I did not defect. Now, finally, it has played out. It has happened.
Yeah, now it's official.
Now it's official. Now it's official. With the governor being a PDP member. Oh, if Nigeria, I don't know. Nigerian politics is somehow.
I think PDP has about 13 members now.
No, that's
Because he left,
when we're
there
in
were
school.
27, he left with 16, making 17. So 10 remain in PDP plus the other 3. So they have about 13 now, and in River State.
And some might still defect with the problems in PDP. So there's a possibility that some might still defect. But the governor of Lagos talking about more governors in APC as trust in the people, trust from the people in APC. I think it's just playing politics with the issues, because we know some of these governors are moving for whatever reason. Some of them being that they want security, they don't want to be hunted down. Some of them, because some of them want to come back to power. A lot of them are just moving to secure themselves, and it has nothing to do with the populace. So, but it is the people that will vote at election time. So, if the people decide to make their votes count, of course, the people will have their say, regardless of what politicians do. If you decide to come out and cast your vote and ensure that your voice is heard, your vote counts, you will have your way. That's what I have to say. So it rests on the people, really. It rests on you and I to make good use of our votes. That is the only way that we can speak up and let politicians know where we stand on who governs us at all levels.
Yes, I think it rests on the people to make the right decision. But I think we have also reached a point where I personally, these governors, whatever they say, I don't take them seriously. And so Nigerians also, many Nigerians don't take them seriously. They just say, oh, okay, governor said, and they move on. So that is what it has become for me. So we just have to get into newspaper headlines this week.
Yes, getting into newspaper headlines. Let's run to it without wasting time. I have The Guardian in front of me, and this is the big story on the cover page of The Guardian. Relief in Cotonou as NAF joint force repel coup plotters in Benin Republic. That's the big story. And then the window headlines here. FG secures release of 100 abducted Niger school children. Quebec exposes poorly performing MDAs due to service failures. Teledensity hits 81% as Nigerians consume 1.23 million TB of data amid high cost. That's terabytes of data, yes, not tuberculosis. Okay, so let's, some more headlines here. Shipping lines decry $4.6 million stowaway. Repatriation yearly fine in Nigeria. Take that one again. Shipping lines decry $4.6 million stowaway repatriation yearly fine in Nigeria. Benue farmers lament, decry crashing food prices, and also concerns over fiscal governance as 2026 budget misses timeline. Install Prince Olojo Kosoko as Oloja of Lagos. Royal family appeals to Sanwo-Olu. PDP faction Mo's convention host meeting in Wike's residence. Dominates 2025 banker awards. CAC to shut illegal POS operators. Orders registration by January 1. Those are the headlines there on the cover page of The Guardian.
The first daily newspaper is up next, and beside the masthead, Ribadu hosts a U.S. congressional delegation in Abuja for high-level security talks. APC reschedules a crucial national caucus NEC meeting to December 18 and 19. JAMB releases 2026 UTME playbook, warns students against costly registration errors. SERAP to INEC published detailed accounting of 55.9 billion naira spent on 2019 election materials. And the LAS seizes 7.6 million tramadol pills, 76,000 kilograms of cannabis in major Delta operation. And the banner headline on the cover page of the first daily newspaper today. Olubadan raises alarm, urges Yoruba vigilance as insecurity spike. Benin authorities confirm multiple arrests after failed coup attempt. Wike-backed PDP BOT defends expulsion of Makinde, Bala, others. The bottom strip headline, APC will win 2027 election convincingly, says Yilwata. It's interesting how we're still in 2025 and people are already talking about 2027. Those are the stories on the cover page of the First Daily newspaper today.
Now, let's quickly run through the New Telegraph. NGS reports reveal gaps in Nigeria's drive to stabilize food prices. NEBSA seeks 10-year tax relief for special economic zone investors. Now, the window headlines. Osun APC primary disqualification. Omishore Adegoke orders seek Tinubu's intervention. UBA Group dominates 2025 Banker Awards. Returns Africa's Bank of the Year. We are behind you, Zulum assures troops of Operation Hiding Kai in Damboa. Insecurity, politicians fearing division in Nigeria, says Utomi. Suggests use of drones to monitor Nigeria's highways. Now the banner headline. Police, vigilance groups arrest suspected bandits at Edo Hotel. With the riders, FG secures release of 100 Niger students. Nigeria's church will laugh last, says Adeboye. As Benue Archbishop laments churches burnt in multiple attacks. Pastors, worshippers killed in the state. Macron, France will intensify counter-terror assistance to Nigeria. NSA, U.S. congressional delegation holds security talks in Abuja. And also, Kano, Ganduje Sisbar begin recruitment of 12,000 guards. It will create tension, uncertainty in the state, NNPP. Shetima leaves for Abidjan to present Tinubu at Kotera's inauguration. Another bold headline, the LP race to Tinubu, APC, prioritize welfare, security, not 2027 politics. With the rider, Atiku El-Rufai, rev up ADC with party membership as Obi leaves party in the dark. Nigeria condemns coup attempt in Benin Republic as authorities dislodge plotters. AU, ECOWAS, censor mutiny. Now, the bottom street, air pollution exposure linked to clogged arteries. And that's it from the New Telegraph newspaper.
That's how far we can go on the newspaper review. Do well to join Chukwuma and Moses for the newspaper analysis. That'll be on top of the hour, 10 a.m. here on Voice of the People Television. We'll go on a quick break and when we'll come back, we'll touch on the first topic of conversation. As 2027 election, the Northern Youth Consultative Forum have hinted that the only thing that can make the 2027 election to come to fore is if the security and economy of Nigeria is stable. We'll touch on this after this break. Stay with us. In a world where power shifts its every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy, and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not speed. We discuss not just politics, but a glimpse into the future. Join Moses, Chukwuma, and Fina on Voice of the People TM. Voice of the People Television. Now you have more than a voice.
Voice of the people. You can hear me now. My name is Patrick Doyle, and I wish that you continue to echo the voices of the people. Big up VOP TV.
My name is Suibifa Dokubo. Please keep watching VOP TV.
Hi, my name is Kwekumali Ikena Onyekwena, and I am with the Voice of the People TV. Now, if you're looking for the veritable channel for information, politics, robust discussions, you don't need to go far. VOP has you. VOP will always have you. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Patrick Diabwa, aka Ibani Chuka, Amayanabo the Eagle King, and you are watching VOP TV. Stay with us.
Hey guys, what's up? How you all doing? They call me Lovisha Nelson White, your number one celebrity host, and you are watching Voice of the People Television, VOP. Stay tuned.
Uyi Osarati is my name. I am a friend of the microphone, Voice of the People TV. That name is unique, and the brand is very sweet. I like the packaging, picture qualities, camera qualities, and then of course, the quality of human beings that I see sometimes on your channel. I talk and get paid, and I look forward to being in your studios.
Oh yes, you are on to Voice of the People TV, live here in Benin City, the cradle of black civilization. What are you waiting for? Tune in, bro.
VOP TV. Now, you have more than a voice.
Mr. Familoni, and here's to VOP TV. Keep watching, stay tuned, do not touch that dial.
My name is Made Kuti, and you're watching VOP TV. Keep watching.
Welcome, my name is Zika Davis. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, boys, viewers, everybody, boys and girls. This is VOP TV. Do you know what that means? Voice of the People TV. You don't have a voice, don't come here. You better make sure your voice is heard.
This is African News on Voice of the People Television, where we don't just bring you the news, we bring you Africa's heartbeats, the policies that shapes our world, and the economy that determines our future. African News on Voice of the People Television. Stay with us.
Well, thank you very much for joining us. Now let's get into the conversation. Northern youths have warned President Bola Tinubu that his chances in the 2027 presidential election will depend on his ability to address the country's insecurity and economic hardship. Now, speaking on Sunday, the national president of the Arawa Youth Consultative Forum, Yerima Shettima, said the youths are deeply concerned about the rising wave of killings, kidnappings, and economic distress. Shettima cautioned Tinubu not to be carried away by endorsements from state governors, citing former President Goodluck Jonathan's defeat in 2015, despite similar support. Now, other northern stakeholders, including Social Democratic Party Chairman Shehu Gabam and Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center Director Awal Rafsanjani, echoed similar concerns. Meanwhile, France has pledged support to Nigeria in the fight against terrorism. Now, French President Emmanuel Macron expressed solidarity with Nigeria in addressing security challenges, particularly in the northern region. Macron's statement follows a wave of gunmen attacks and kidnappings that have drawn international condemnation. But the Nigerian government has sought diplomatic aid from the international community, with the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, meeting with the U.S. congressional delegation in Abuja to discuss security cooperation and regional stability. Well, we do have Barrister Darlington Agumo with us, and Comrade Destiny Nabulele will also join the conversation. He's former executive chairman of Ovia Southwest Local Government Council Area. Good morning to you, Comrade Nabulele. Good to have you. Good morning to you too, Barrister Darlington Agumo. Very well, thank you. Now, we'll talk about. Let's start off with first off, Barrister, the Arewa Youth Consultative Forum. It's not the first time they're saying that, look, they will not support the president in 2027. What impact did they have in the 2023 election? And I think sometime last year, they said they were going to support Muslim whoever runs from the northern part of Nigeria. Should the president be bothered about this statement coming from the Arewa Youth Consultative Forum?
In fact, if I were the president, I will give it back to them. You know, the arrogance of the North over this insecurity is annoying me, seriously. How do you blame the whole country for the problem you created? Where is this thing coming from? This insecurity. Who are the bandits, the terrorists? Where are they mostly from? Is it not from the North? Instead of the North to find a way to stop a problem they created, they are trying to use it to blackmail all of us. It's very sad, seriously. I don't see why the North should be making noise over this issue. The very problem they created, we were here when their leaders came out and told us how they brought these people into Nigeria. And the North didn't deem it fit to say, we are sorry for what we have done. We are sorry for bringing this problem to Nigeria. Rather, they will keep blackmailing you and I as if we are the cause of the problem. And we did not find it fit to even give it back to them. The type of politics we play in the South, I don't like it seriously. Because if this thing we are coming from the South here, I know what the North would have done. I know what they would have done. Ordinary alcohol that Obi went to import. They said because he imported alcohol, that the Muslim North will not vote for him because they don't drink alcohol. Can you just imagine? But you that brought terrorism into Nigeria, and we have been suffering of this for 15 years now, you are not ashamed for what you have done. You are not even apologizing to us. Every time you be making noise, if you don't solve insecurity. Who created insecurity? When Jonathan wanted to stop it, it was this same you Northerners that was writing letter, writing everything. You want to kill the North. You want to do this. You were writing memo to international community. Why is it that the North always use this security to blackmail all of us? And nobody can give it back to them from the South here. Who brought this problem into Nigeria? Is it not the North? Is it not the North, for God's sake? Why are we not calling a spade here?
Okay.
Let them stop that thing, please. It annoys me. Let them stop it. Let them face their leaders over there. Let them face their leaders and stop insulting our intelligence. Why should they be talking like that?
All right then. Comrade Destiny and Abulele, let's get your thoughts on this one as well. And I understand that we have Prince Nixon Okwara joining the conversation. Okay. Well, let's take your reaction to this, and then we'll talk about insecurity. I would like us to touch on the involvement of France and the foiled coup that took place in Benin, and all of this. But first, let's talk about the insecurity in Nigeria, the position of Arewa Youth Consultative Forum, and should the president be bothered about any of these? And then we'll talk about other insecurity issues. Go ahead, please.
Let me appreciate the platform and Okoro and my dear sister Fina for yet another opportunity, at least, to be part of this discourse this morning, because the There's a saying in my very rich Benin language that when a hawk is trying to catch the small chicken, the owner will join the mother hen to protect the small chicken. You see, the problem is this. I align with Barrister totally, because over time I sympathize with the South very seriously. It's like we have mortgaged our rights to the North as a result of us, requesting for their votes. Hence, not becoming incommunicable, where we cannot confront. The only person before now that I've been confronting them is the late this man from Delta State, from this local government. I've forgotten. I remember his name. That the brother is a professor. He was a minister during OBJ, when OBJ was a military head of state. You see, the problem is this: we must situate it, squarely. They are traditional rulers. I wouldn't want to mention any names. The Sokoto Caliphate and the likes and the many. What are they doing? We have had the calls when the president or those in authority want to, wrestle this thing squarely. You hear them speaking from both sides of their mouth. And majority of them, or these religious or traditional rulers, they are one-time military this, military that. And they cannot nip the insecurity in their domain. And the ball, it's quite sad, because they know it is a tool for them to begin to wrestle the South, to koto, or whatever language you want to use, to their whims and caprices. For me, it's not right. I think they need to deploy or come up with another strategy of them, trying to, force the South to perpetually remain subservient to them. Because this strategy now, with utmost humility, is no longer yielding the desired results. So for me, I want to appeal this morning.
Okay.
Because it's teaching time, saves time. I'm driving somewhere, because we have had in this country that a governors, but they said it, whether Zamfara, if I'm not mistaken, that during the last election, he empowered terrorist bandits to force the electorate to vote for their party, APC. And nobody has raised dust, nobody has asked the question.
All right, comrade.
He has immunity.
All right, comrade, let me stay with you.
That this number 2 man, this president number 2 man, the then, the bandit head was discovered in his own apartment when he was a governor of Bonu.
Now, Comrade Nabulele, I want to ask you, you said you align your thoughts with that of Barrister Darlington, who said that, look, it is the North that created this problem, so they should solve it. But let us look at it from another angle. We also understand that we have foreigners, who have trooped into Nigeria, flooded Nigeria, and are part of the people causing this problem. Should it be the responsibility of the North or the responsibility of the Commander-in-Chief to solve this problem? If we agree that Nigeria is one entity, indissoluble, non-negotiable, separation non-negotiable, should it be a matter of concern that, look, you cause the problem, you solve the problem, or should it be the government that goes out to solve the problem?
Mr. Okoro, I had an experience, myself and my wife, while we were on our way from Australia. I must be very frank with you. I think prior to the election, to 2023 election, we went through Ethiopia. My brother, when we got to Ethiopia, we spent over an hour, over 30 or 40. If you doubt, I will bring my wife to this studio in the next distance. The Ethiopian citizens, they entered the plane we entered from Ethiopia to Nigeria without a single passport. The only thing that was with them was their ticket, their flight ticket. And when we got to Murtala Mohammed, airport in Abuja, they had to put them to one room and go and call one big oga to come and clear them to enter the Nigerian territory.
That's exactly my point. That's exactly my question. Should it be Excuse me, Honorable. Should it be the Northern traditional rulers that will stop that, or should it be the government?
You see, To be very frank with you, you see, every crime is local. Every crime is local. I'm a student of diplomatic practice. For us to have this, very holistic reach in terms of wrestling, the traditional rulers or the religious leaders in our various domains must be at the forefront in addressing it. If you say you want to take our destiny or Ayedele and Abulele to Sokoto, I will not come back. That is the gospel truth. I will not come back alive. My cause will come back to Edo State. That is the gospel. If I am used, if it's a terrain that I am used to, and you say I should go there and do the needful, I will come back with results.
All right.
And with victory. That's the point I'm driving at this morning.
Okay.
The North must be sincere to themselves. The Northern leaders
Exactly.
must be sincere, must be willing to
Thank
wrestle
you.
this thing. That is the only way the federal government can win this fight. That's the only way the federal government can win this.
Thank you so much.
All right, then.
Thank you, Comrade Enabulele, for submission. Prince Nixon Okora, good morning and good to have you join today's conversation, if you can hear me. If you can hear me, one of the other things or one of the issues that Shetima Irima raised as a concern was the high rate of unemployment and also the economic crisis that Nigeria has been faced with. And he mentioned rampant inflation and declining living standard of Nigerians, saying that if all those things are not being worked on 2027, that the election or the vote of the people will solely depend on this. Do you think that all this that he made mention of is enough reason to, more like vote against the number one man whom you have so much faith in and also trusted in? If we're talking about insecurity, recall that when the past administration were on board, yes, insecurity was there. But some Nigerians will still say that the standard of living was a bit better or fairer. The inflation wasn't a two-digit, but not the way it is at this point and all that. And also the standard of living and all that. Please, let's get your opinion. I would like you to unmute your device if you can hear me.
Huh?
I can hear you. Go ahead. I can hear you. Go ahead.
Thank you for your question. You see, 2027, let me first of all disagree with the president, the Northern youth, and all that. 2027 election will not just be based on security, it will be based on deliverables by the president. And I appreciate the fact that the vice president, I guess because he's a serving vice president, understand that there are some kind of distortions, institutional distortions that have fueled this insecurity in the northern part of Nigeria. And these are part of the deliverable the president is doing. You can't totally curb insecurity in this situation without, first of all, solving a lot of our economic issues. And the president is delivering in so many ways. Let's come to think about this. Like other people said here, the mindset of everybody in the South presently, and even possibly some part of the North, recycling insecurity for politics must stop in Nigeria, especially in the North. When you look at the utterances, the biases, the arrogance coming from some strata of the social class in the northern part of the country, it simply tells all of us that these people are still arrogating some level of ownership of this Nigerian enterprise, which will never go down with anybody. If people keep saying that because the southern part of Nigeria, we are the ones that need a peaceful Nigeria, and the rest of the part of the country don't care about a peaceful Nigeria, then we must look at it all over again. The South can comfortably depend and live and exist or as the own country or nations of peace if the rest don't want to. I am saying this for the first time. The president is doing his best to curb and solve the problem of insecurity created by these monstrous politicians in this part of the country. If I say it because I'm an APC, I don't think it will cost me anything, but it's time to start calling the spade a spade by all of us to this matter of insecurity. The last time I was asking you, when will all this stop? It is painful every morning you wake up. You look at the TVs, the social medias, we are seeing gory videos and pictures of people's children, sons and daughters, future generations. as if that somebody purposely decide to give birth to children that have no value for life, just they can continue to use it as a political advantage, talk carelessly, upset the national tempo and the rest of it, or just because you want to keep power that you have not used for the gains of these people, for any other person. So this is absurd. It's unacceptable. What I'm trying to say here, is that the 2027 election will solely depend on the deliverables and the deliverables of the president.
Indeed. Nicely put. Now, but talking about taking advantage, political space, insecurity, and the rest, former governor of Kano State, Ganduje, has pushed for the recruitment of 12,000 personnel for Hisbah. That's 12,000 more. And this is against what the current governor is doing. The current governor is saying, look, this will cause insecurity in the state. Could it be that the APC administration is plotting to destabilize Kano State for its own gains come 2027?
Well, I don't see APC. APC presently, as ably led by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, cannot create insecurity and miss its own core focus of trying to solve this insecurity. We have seen some holistic agenda. We have seen some sincerity of purpose from the party and the president. We see his body language determined to end this insecurity. But let me not forget that most cases, the North is like an entire entity of its own. Especially Kano State have long existed without almost most federal control or the president control. You find out that this side of the country have some traditional and cultural leaning that particularly rule and control their moods, their politics, and everything. So it is wrong to, because a member of APC from the North called for certain positions and it becomes an APC idea. It is just for the internal administrative purposes and whatever they want.
Against the wishes of the governor who superintends in the state?
Yeah, one thing you must understand, that being the governor does not make you the arbiter of law and all that. You are still there because people want you to be there. So people's opinion must be considered.
Well, he's the chief security officer of that state. The governor is the chief security officer.
Exactly, but when the chief security officer probably has not fared well, when you look at what's going on in many states, that is why sometimes I'm angry with some institutions and CLOs and the rest of them. They keep talking about presidents.
I would like Barrister Darlington to react to that question when we come to him.
All right. The Prince Nixon, good morning. Let me stay with you. Now, the guests here are agreed on the fact that, look, this problem is coming from the North. The insecurity is caused by Northerners. Whether they are Nigerians or not, but everything is coming from the North. Now, I'd like for you to, and you said you also believe that, look, the North should solve the problem. They should be part of solving the problem. Between 2011 and 2015, we had a similar situation where insecurity, more like enveloped the North, parts of the North, especially the Northeast. At that point, the current president, the leader of your party, said, look, President Jonathan, the buck stops at your table. The president at that time, who was the national leader of your party, didn't blame the North, he blamed the president. Why is it convenient for you to blame the North now instead of asking the president to solve the problem? Because the buck stops at his table. What's the difference?
When there's something you're getting wrong. The president today has never for one day denied of taking responsibility. He has not even tried the blame game. Look at the way he does things. He's always accepting. He will tell you, yes, the situation is bad, but I apply for this job and I'm here to do it. So when you talk about blame game, yes, people have their own individual opinions and all that. And all of us understand actually, ideally, what the right things or doing things right would have been from the Northerners. Because those people who are...
No, Prince, exactly my point. You are still doing the blame game. You are not asking the president to take charge. You are not blaming the North for the problem. The president has taken charge.
The president has sincerely taken charge.
Okay, to what extent? To what extent? Is this solving the problem?
I said something earlier on that there were some institutional distortions that needed to be fixed. And the president actually started with that. If you don't fix these distortions that has prevailed in Nigeria, it is difficult to fight insecurity. Remember, that was the first thing I said here.
Okay.
But coming to the part you're saying, the North, both the youth and the elders have a very strong role to play in if they really want this to stop. That is where I stand.
All right.
If they really want the country to move forward, if they want the economy, if they want their security, they have a lot of role. Why the president consolidating with his own fixing the structural disruptions that have fueled this insecurity? They themselves should come out clean. They should come out open and be sincere to condemn some of these acts and be ready to work with the federal government. When you shield some of these people, we have seen them, they conduct every normal wedding parties in the northern part of the country. And when you look at what is going on in that part of it, if you look at in the southeast, when we're having some level of insecurity, you'll be surprised that everybody came out to condemn it. Some people were going to their village themselves to organize a local vigilante and the rest of them to take out some of these.
Okay, thank you very much,
criminals.
Nixon Okwara. Your point has been taken, but we'll come back and talk about insecurity. So please do stay, and I hope the network will allow this because I've been seeing some glitches in the network there. But I bind it and I cast it away, and I know it will allow us to have this conversation to the fullest. But let's come back to the studio, Barrister Darlington. Now let's talk about the Hisbah, recruitment. 12,000 of them. 12,000. Some of them were laid off by the governor, and now Ganduje has pushed for the re-recruitment of these individuals. Let's talk about that, and then let's talk about that first.
Ganduje have no right to dictate to the governor how to run his state. He cannot even implement it himself. So he just made a statement. I don't think anybody will listen to him. In the first place, you are talking of state police. Is that not what everybody have agreed upon? So what is the Hisbah coming to do now? This same thing that is, everybody is saying they should remove it from our constitution, and you are now pushing for it to be included. You see, generally, the North are not ready. I'm not joking.
Not ready for what? Not ready for
They
what?
are not ready to move this country forward. This religious sentiment is what they are after. Most of their leaders are fanatics and extremists. What is Hisbah? You are talking about state police, and you are talking of Hisbah.
Barrister, how can we take away Hisbah from the North, especially the states that practice Sharia law, where we know that, it's been emboldened in the Constitution for them
That's
to
what
have
I'm
such.
saying. We are a secular state. Such things should not come into national discussion. That's what I'm saying here. That Hisbah is your way of life, your traditional whatever.
Okay.
It shouldn't come into national discussion. In fact, we should not find it in our constitution.
All right.
That's why America is saying you should remove all those Sharia things in our constitution.
Let's move away from that. Let's talk about French government calling the president yesterday and giving its support to the fight against insecurity. And this came after Nigeria reacted to the coup attempts in Benin Republic. We saw fighter jets, went in there, even though they said they were called upon by the displaced government of Patrice, yes, in the country, and there were bombardments, to scare the mutineers and the rest of them. And some Nigerians are saying that President Tinubu was basically ordered to do that by Emmanuel Macron of France. And what do you make of that swift reaction to the coup in a neighboring country without a corresponding swift reaction to insecurity, areas where insecurity has been holding sway in Nigeria?
That is the action of a local champion. When you see somebody you can beat in any tournament or in any fight, you seem to intimidate that person.
Well, ECOWAS has a standing force for things like this. Isn't this just...
Which ECOWAS? The one that has disintegrated or another one?
The same ECOWAS that we know of.
You say what? ECOWAS. ECOWAS have disintegrated. Is that not a fact?
Barrister, how? What do you mean by ECOWAS?
When some people have walked away,
but that is not
But
disintegration.
the union is still there.
they are no longer together now.
No, three people just.
The ECOWAS is no
Benin is
longer.
still part of
Hold on.
ECOWAS.
ECOWAS is no longer the one entity that Gowon created in 1975. They have gone their separate ways, so they are not together. That's the fact. And thank God,
some countries might have left ECOWAS, but ECOWAS is still ECOWAS.
No.
There are still some countries in ECOWAS.
No.
ECOWAS has not been.
What do you mean by no?
It has not been.
ECOWAS is still there. The
It's
secretary is still there.
Look, when you are supposed to be a bloc speaking with one voice, and all of a sudden, out of that one block, some people are walked away.
But
You can no longer be
it's
one
still
block.
speaking with one voice amongst its members.
Which members?
Those that have remained in ECOWAS.
Those that good. That means there is a dent. The wall have cracked.
So you say we should change the name ECOWAS now?
Yes, the wall have cracked.
And add
because
some West African
yes,
states to it.
because your member, the original members of that who are within that block, we are still within that environment too. If Niger, Burkina Faso and Mali they are in a different environment outside ECOWAS, fine. But they are still within ECOWAS. Their land is still there, and they have moved out of the block. So how can you say they are together?
So you think ECOWAS should not have reacted to the Benin incident?
Why didn't they react to that of Nigeria?
What happened in Nigeria?
What?
What happened?
When terrorists have taken over part of our land.
Oh.
When terrorists have taken part of Jos and Benue. Or is that not a fact?
Yeah, but we have always had a multinational joint task force.
Where are they? Where were they when this things happened? And they are still there up to today. As I speak to you now, these terrorists have sacked people from Benue and Jos, and they're occupying their villages. Is that not a fact? So what is ECOWAS doing about it? No, why couldn't they use the same force and go and flush them out? Why didn't they use the same force, go and flush those people out? Meanwhile, the owners of the villages are living in IDP camp.
But Barrister, what's your point now?
My point is that I will not celebrate anything here. I didn't see anything fantastic that anybody have done. They are doing it to save their own face. Because when Niger happened, the same thing method was about to be used. But some people from the north went and stood against it and said, no, those people there, they are our brothers, so they are cousins, so nobody should go and do anything there. Is that not what happened?
All right, Barrister, today we learned that, we're having a very big meeting, a crucial meeting between Nigeria and also the U.S. We're having a congressional delegation to talk about the security and the way forward of Nigeria today in Abuja. What do you think or perceive to be the outcome of that meeting?
I am beginning to be wary of these meetings and discussion with the USO. This is not like Donald Trump. I'm beginning to think that they have hypnotized that man. This is not a Donald Trump that I used to know. Who will shoot before saying sorry?
What would you have wanted to see?
They would have taken action long ago because these terrorists are not. Yes. You say what? I don't think jihadists, yes. Because that's the only thing they understand. Can't you see that since this thing happened?
They are working. They have decided to work with the government of Nigeria, hand in hand,
to
solve the problem.
Moses,
Barrister,
whenever your property is missing and you are looking for it, don't include the man that stole it among the side party. You will never find it. That's the truth. Is it not the same government that was here, dining and whining with terrorists, that were holding meeting with them, that want to go and have a meeting with the US now? What do you think they are trying to do here? They want to water it down. They want to cool them down. They want to tell the US that they are collaborating, that meanwhile they are not ready. Inside their heart, they are looking for a way to water it down.
Okay, that's your summation.
Yes, to make Donald Trump look worthless and stupid. Because what he tried to do, he can no longer do it. At the end of the day, this man will be mocking and say, look at, is that not Donald Trump that he will come to bomb? Where is he now?
Anyway,
yes, that's what I think.
Your views. And Barrister, I understand that we have to let you go now. So would that be your concluding thoughts on this?
The meeting is too much. They have had a lot of meetings. I've told you, when government don't want to do anything, if they start with a panel meeting, emissaries.
Okay.
At the end of the day, the whole thing will die down. You know where they are going.
All right then. Thank you very much, Barrister Darlington.
When terrorists want to hit us, they hold meetings.
Thank you for your time and your contribution. But we still have the other gentlemen, Comrade Destiny and Abulele and Prince Nixon Okoro. I would like you to stay with us as we expand this a little bit more. Let's talk about, let me come to Prince, I beg your pardon, Comrade Destiny and Abulele. Now let's talk a bit about the reaction of Nigeria's government to the coup in Benin, how the NAF fighter jets went into the airspace, protect the border, and then scared away the mutineers in that coup. What are your reaction if you want to juxtapose that response to what we've been dealing with in Nigeria? What would you say? How would you sum it up? Well, I understand that your audio is not coming out, so if you can do something about it. All right. Well, if that has been fixed, then you may speak now. Well, we still can't hear you. We're having a problem with your audio. You might need to unmute your device if that's the problem, and so we can take your response. But if that has not been fixed, we might have to go to...
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Go ahead, please.
Okay. You see, Mr. Moses, as I have said, I try to be very careful. This is December with choice of words this morning, so that I can, have a Christmas and New Year with my family. Because of late, I've been getting some threats left, right, center. You see, I must be very frank. This government, as we currently have, whether in the national or in my states, they are a bunch of irresponsible men presiding over our collective patrimony without knowing what to do with it. I must be very frank. Perhaps you must have heard. Let me start from Edo State. Not too long ago, about yesterday or day before yesterday, when the governor that was being given to us by Bola Ahmed Tinubu said that the insecurity that is pervading the space of Nigeria was the same measure that was just towards Jonathan to ensure that Jonathan was removed from office. But the question in the list of average Nigerians, who were the people that perpetrated, or perhaps that have this insecurity or banditry or terrorists to not be part of our political lexicon, is not the same crop of people that are this crop of persons and party that are currently presiding over us as a people and as a country. So we all know where the problem is coming from. And they are not telling us the basic facts because they are not willing to nip it on the bud. We are all passing through hell in this country with utmost humility. That's why I said I must try to be very careful this morning. We are passing through hell. Our people can no longer ply our roads. People that are going for interview. I remember a friend of mine, I was going for interview in Abuja. He had to call me to. I needed some. I said, my brother, that's a very good decision. I had to send him some little. I'm driving somewhere, sir. I had to send him some little money to enable him, get a ticket to Abuja to go do the interview. But as we have it, he has been given an appointment letter. Perhaps if I have not done that, you would have maybe take the risk and self-apply the rule.
So now, do you think that the involvement of the U.S. and also the congressional delegation that held talk with the NSA yesterday in Abuja is going to yield any fruit? And also the involvement of Western, because recall that Nigeria have decided to seek for help from the Western world. We have France now also pledging to help Nigeria to fight insecurity. We have the UK, we have the US, more like forming all hands should be on deck to help Nigeria. Do you think it's going to yield any good fruit at all?
No, just as the barrister said just now, I'm no longer comfortable with this, recent romance between the Nigerian government and the United States of America. I'm taking my mind off. I expected them to just hit this country, move, just like what they did when one of their citizens was kidnapped in the northern part of this country. As we currently have, we shouldn't expect any fantastic results because the man in the helm of affairs with the crop of persons that is co-travelers. They have a way of massaging the ego. As I speak before you, the United States government, they are confused. As I speak before you, they don't even know what to do again. You can take this to the bank. This time next year, we'll be talking about this issue. A country that is plagued with serious insecurity, the government at the center is busy campaigning for 2027 when we are not here in 2026? After you tell me that we are serious, and you are telling me that France is coming, where has France been all this while? When the president at every cough or Qatar is in France, is in Paris. And today, you now hear France is saying that they are willing because they have assisted, Nigeria has assisted them to foil the coup in Benin Republic. Who is fooling who?
All right.
I think Nigeria will go past this. We are made and reason before an action.
Okay.
Some of us, I can tell you what this time next year, what will happen in this country this time next year. That is the gospel truth. We are not willing as a people. And the bulk of the problem rests on the doorstep of the average Nigerians that are the electorate. All this hallelujah and praise singing, Nigerians need to stop before we get out of this quagmire. We need to stop.
Thank you so
Nothing
much.
that is working in this country. Administratively, it's not working. Economically, it's not working. Security-wise, it's not working.
And that was why I asked again. You know, I can recall, comrade, I asked this question, I think, to Prince Nixon. Do you think that the Ariwa Consultative Forum, the youth wing of it, do you think that they are right? Or is their call justifiable when they say that the 2027 election will solely depends on the improvement of security and even the standard of living of Nigerians, the 2027 election? And can they even do anything about it, since most Nigerians are more like pointing fingers to the north to be the people or the faction that created the issue of insecurity?
Madafina, let me be very frank with you. They are just backing for recognition. With utmost humility, I respect my Northern brothers, my Northern youths. I respect them. They are backing for recognition. This man that is currently presiding over us, he know how to dangle some carrots. He know how to dangle some chicken. Then your senses to some extent will be long gone before you know it. He has achieved or perhaps perpetrated whatever he wants to do. You see, the issue is this, and it's very simple. It is very simple. The Nigerians who currently have, I must be very frank with you, no leader is willing, or I don't know the language to use this morning. That care about you and I, that care about Moses, that care about Okoro, that care about Fina, that care about destiny. All they are after is the next election. It is the next election, not about you and I.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Let me lie with this thought. If it were to be a country that is sincere, what would have expected the president and his co-travelers to at least, now that our roads are now kidnappers there and death traps as it were right now, they should reach out to this airfare to say, okay, you know, we are currently facing this. How can we reduce this airfare for an average Nigerian? As I tell you, the airfare from Benin to Abuja, from Lagos to Benin, I tell you, it is increasing every day, and the average man cannot afford it.
It might even get worse with the recent tax reform. Now, Comrade Destiny, just so you know, it might get worse with the recent tax reform and all that, because even the airline operators are beginning to complain about some things. But anyway, let's get Prince Nixon give us a submission on this one. On the November 20th, 2025, the Secretary of War, that's Mr. Hegseth, hosted Nigerians, their delegation at Pentagon to discuss the issue of insecurity in Nigeria. And just yesterday, we learned from Nehru Badu, the NSA, that even a congressional delegation of the U.S. arrived in Nigeria to discuss the way forward. Do you think that all this is going to yield any result and end the issue of insecurity in Nigeria? And also recall that we have porous borders. We're told also that over 1,000 of our borders are unmanned and all that. We're talking about how foreigners have been infiltrating the nation and more like helping to champion the issue of security.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's exciting to see the level of collaboration with some international players. We can see from the look of things that the political landscape is shifting towards a multipolar order, and Nigeria is actually accepting itself at that level. Unfortunately, what I sometimes from our people, we begin to worry over our mindsets on upholding democratic institutions across West Africa as the best government. But then, that being said, people in Nigeria should be able to appreciate the fact that America has recognized Nigerian sovereignty, and therefore talking with our president to see how this issue of insecurity is resolved. That's inclusive of the defense and all other proactive approach towards solving the insecurity is a lot on the table of Mr. who took over at a very critical time in our nationhood. And when you look at part of that discussions, why I know it's going to bring up a lot of fruitful results, at least if there is 100%, 80% collaboration and agreement, we should be seeing some kind of information sharing, identification strategy, engagement, and make sure that these things, this collaboration did not start with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Nigeria has always engaged in national partners, even before 1967 to 1970 during the war. There were strategic partnerships of them. So all the stages of insecurity we've all had in Nigeria, there has always been. But the difference between what that then was and what has been happening and what is happening, Nigeria has been able to take Nigeria beyond just taking deliverables of fighting weapons and the rest of them to proper engagements, whereby a lot of collaborations, including apart from taking the people that what was doing Buhari when we bought the Tucano fighter jet and all that, then some of our pilots and best brains were taken to America to be trained, and some of those in a partnership. But beyond that, this time around, we are seeing President Tinubu engaging and also playing a major role, because Nigeria has been able to assert itself, even in the present actions across the West African region. The Cotonou to stop that. I expect a lot of people to also support that approach, in the sense that everybody must always uphold the democratic institution, and we are supposed to be happy about that. The president is actually taking a hard stand against such illegality. And when you look at the way he has handled our collaboration, unlike in the past, you can see that the world is beginning to respect Nigeria. This kind of achievement is something that I expect the media to start identifying the implications of the fact that America, who could walk out on so many countries, Ukraine, and saw their president, could recognize our president to make a very successful effort in discussing with us, planning with us, and trying to solve our problem. And France, today again, was able to come up with their own position in support of Nigeria. It is a very strategic alignment. It is a new order. It is a recognition of the fact that our international diplomacy, our political and international engagement is the top notch. So I give it to Mr.
Indeed. All right. Thank you very much, Prince Nixon Okwara. Thank you for your thoughts there. But I would like you to stay with us as we get into another conversation now. Let's talk about SERAP. SERAP has urged INEC to account for missing 55.9 billion naira. Let's x-ray this conversation when we come back. Stay with us.
The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has called on the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to account for the missing 55.9 billion naira meant for the 2019 general elections. According to SERAP, the funds were allegedly diverted from the purchase of smart cards readers, ballot papers, result sheets, and other election materials. 5.3 billion naira paid to a contractor for smart card readers without proper documentation. 4.5 billion naira paid to 6 contractors for ballot papers and result sheet without evidence of supply. 331 million naira paid to contractors under questionable circumstances, and 630 million naira in unretired cash advances granted to INEC officers. 2.1 billion naira in uneducated stamp, undeducted stamp duty for contractors. 41 billion naira awarded to contractors for printing ballot papers and result sheets without due process. 297 million naira spent on 4 Toyota Land Cruisers without Federal Executive Council approval. SERAP has given INEC a 7-day ultimatum to disclose the names of the contractors involved, their directors and business addresses, and to refer the alleged corruption to anti-corruption agencies for investigation and prosecution. Failure to comply may result in legal action. And that is the words of the director of SERAP in the person of all right, and when we check this story, found out that it's coming up to the INEC chairman, the newly appointed INEC official, Joash Amopitan, Professor, that he should make available the contractors and every other person involved in this spending. We're looking at 55.9 billion naira. When I was reading out those figures, I didn't get a point where I said million. Everything was just coming in billion, and 331 billion and all that. Do we really have a figure problem in Nigeria? Let me start off with you, Comrade Destiny Nabolele. What do you make of this revelation? We've been getting some monies now, not quite accounted for. INEC now is the one we have on the radar, 55.9. The other time it was NNPC, 210 trillion. We also have another NNPC case again for their London office. And all these are coming from the Auditor General's forensic audit of MDAs and agencies. Please, what do you make of this? And do you think that the Professor Joash Amopitan team will be able to provide the contractors and their addresses like SERAP is requesting within 7 days ultimatum being given to them?
Madam Fina, I must tell you very unequivocally that this fact-finding is dead on arrival. It's dead on arrival. More to be very frank. I said it earlier that the present crop of persons, President Bola Tinubu and his co-travelers, their mandate is not to take you and I to the El Dorado. It's not. Their own is for their own selfish and particular interest. Permit me to use the particular interest. You see, the issue is simple. The issue before us, issue of contractor. I think it was here not too long ago, and it's not last week or 2 weeks ago. Last week here, to be very precise, that the contractors, Association of Contractors, indigenous contractors, they were protesting in this country with a coffin before the Minister of Finance. These are persons that have done their work. They have done every submitted the needed papers. But here you are. They've not even supplied a pencil, or now here you are. They're taking money in full. That's to tell you. We don't wait to talk to some of us. We have said it. That one of the things that is plaguing us as a country, I want to be very frank with you, is this issue of Strawberry syndrome without a strong institution. That's exactly. You see, when I hear people talk that yes, you are talking because you have allowed your political inclination or tribal inclination to precloud your sense of cognitive reasoning, then I'm a little bit taken aback. Me, I view things as they evolve because I'm a realist, I'm very practical. For me, I sympathize with my friend, Rafa Jani, who happens to be the head of SERAP. But I know for sure this matter, you can, this time next year, I know this time next year, you will say, Destiny said it. It's dead on arrival because the money has been turned to something else.
No, but comrade, do you have any idea why it has to take the Auditor General office up until 2025 to review what transpired in 2019? Recall that even the other monies, the London office for NNPCL and all that. Why should this come at this point?
But Madam Fina, you see, that's to tell you how serious we are as a people and as a nation. And this man under whose watch this evil permit me this morning that conducted the worst election in the history of this country, and the corruption, the corruption that has ever happened, is the worst corruption that has ever happened is on this island, presided over by Professor Mahmoud, and this same person has been nominated for ambassadorial. You see, we are jobs. We are jobs. We talk about humility. All of us, we are jokes.
Okay.
This kind of things. Nigeria is too enlightened. I don't know whether.
All right. Thank you, comrade. Thank you, comrade.
You see, there's a saying that education makes it more easy to govern, but difficult to manipulate. At times, when I see the level of manipulation in this country, just about 2 weeks ago, I had a discussion with my wife. Are we really educated? Or we just pass through the system, and the system does not pass through us? The 4 walls of education does not pass through us. Because there are series of manipulation left, right, center. The men in the area of affairs, they are manipulating us. And we don't have the box.
Okay, all right, comrade. I think that's $1 million question. Are we really educated? Now let's bring in Prince Nixon into this conversation. Nixon, we have a situation where we are looking for a certain 55.9 billion naira, set aside for the purchase of election materials, and we are just getting to hear that look, we didn't purchase those things, and nobody can account for that money. It's taking SERAP, non-for-profit agency, to beam its searchlight on that and tell Nigerians. Now, what should be the role of the EFCC if we have this kind of thing? Shouldn't it be the EFCC?
Is very, very important that cannot be overflowed because of its responsibility is centered on transparency and accountability as the umpire that conducts Nigerian elections. So that is a very important part that I think the president himself is even taking it lightly. And but the unfortunate thing is that the messenger on this matter, we all understand, has always been every election cycle. In fact, I call him the heavyweight of the opposition. He comes out with only an INEC as if there is something with this INEC for SERAP. SERAP, their level of watchdog is now centered only on INEC. They have turned blind eyes to local government administration that affects the masses themselves. The state governors administration is nothing for SERAP. They do not care what happens any other place except when the election is closer. And you see them always speaking like the opposition, and whatever you see them amplify, next thing you hear is litigation and all that. Let's keep, maybe that could be important for them for their international grants and also taking those centers stage.
Prince Nixon, permit me to butt in at this moment. Permit me to butt in. Is there anything that SERAP has said in the past years that you can fault that is not correct? Just one. Can you mention one of them?
It is not about being correct. It's
about what, sir? What should it be about?
Let me tell you, in 2019, you remember, they also shouted on top of their voices on all the whole INEC issues. It is always mirroring the opposition stance on matters. That's what I'm saying. Remember, they also took INEC to court then, and when they talked about what they call this BVS or this election BVS, whatever. So that has always been the SERAP. But when it comes to EFCC, if you look at under President Tinubu, the EFCC has not been witch hunting anybody, but rather instead of just,
it has not been witch hunting anybody, but it has been busy protecting members of the APC. Isn't that correct?
I want to get that analysis and metrics from you who they protected. When you look at the right aspect of institution is what they are doing. You must be able to conclude the investigation before arresting people. Unlike what happens before, it becomes a political jamboree in the past.
Prince Nixon, for how long should it take for a normal investigation to be conducted between 2019 up until this moment? EFCC is still conducting investigations. For how long would they do that?
For crying out loud, there is no way EFCC will jump into certain issues they know nothing about, except when this kind of matters up. And I tell you, if you take it or leave it, in the no distant time, you will certainly find out that the security agencies and the EFCC...
Prince Nixon, before I leave you, do you think that we are winning the war against corruption?
As a matter of fact, I tell you, there are a lot of structural disruptions in Nigeria that fuel these corruptions. Proactively, yes. The policy we have presently is curbing corruptions. At least the index has reduced. That's why if you look at the world listing today, our position has improved. Seriously, we are no longer where we used to be. So if you ask me, under 3 years of Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration, my answer is yes. But mind you that what we are going through in corruption here is deep-rooted decades of recycled corruption and corrupt practices. And it's not something that can be done in one day. When you look at the enabling policies, which has actually created these platforms for which a lot of corrupt practices have been waned. So you can say with all your chest that the country is doing the corruption war. Then when you look at what happens in certain sectors, the Nigeria is too big to fight everything overnight. It is not going to be possible. All agencies have been practicing so many kind of recycled corrupt practices. Many institutions over 5 decades, this thing has been there. How do you want presidents with what is happening in security policy to do these things overnight? It is not easy.
Is the president overwhelmed? Prince Nixon, looks like you are telling us that the president is overwhelmed.
The president cannot be overwhelmed, but in any system.
You just said so. He said he's battling with corruption, he's battling with insecurity, he's battling with the economy. And we make no headway in any of these things. So it looks like he's overwhelmed according to you.
Look at where we are on this security. Before he took over, this security almost took over Abuja as the federal capital territory. But today, everybody living in Abuja to large extent now safe. People still do their normal business. Look at some part of the southeast. People are now travel. A lot of people are planning their trip to December in the southeast. Before he took over, we all knew how it was. Look at even in the certain area in the middle belt, the people in the southern Kaduna have returned back home. Let us commend this man. He has tried in this insecurity since the Azu power.
When you're talking about Nigeria's corruption and you're saying that we have improved, you know, it's important to put the figures straight. In 2023, Nigeria was at 145 out of 180. And now in 2024-2025 index, just 5 points above, you know, not that we are no longer there. We are still there, 140s. That shows we are still where, you know, we were before now. Just 5 points above is just what we have. And that is below the regional and also the world benchmark. Mo, you wanted to say something. All right, now, and also, let me just maybe in 1 second or in let's say in 20 or 30 seconds, are we saying that Sarah amplifying what the Auditor General made available to Nigerians now, we should blame them for that? Recall the information was made available by the Auditor General Office to tell the INEC that they are rejecting even the clearance that they come to give to them about the spending of the 55.9 billion naira. And also the fact that even some of the contracts they claim they've awarded in that 2019 does not really keep up to what is supposed to be in terms with the Procurement Act of Nigeria. We're looking at no certificate of objection, there's no bid and no advertisement and even submission to still done for the spending we're looking at this morning. Prince Nixon, in 30 seconds. We need it to, okay. Interesting.
All right, then let's, well, we've lost connection to our guest, but let's go to the next conversation and we use that time to reconnect to our guest. Now, ADC is speaking to Peter Obi, saying, make up your mind now. All right? But let's talk about this when we come back. Oh well. The African Democratic Congress ADC has urged Peter Obi, the 2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party, to decide whether he wants to join the party or not. The ADC emphasized that it's not willing to pressure Obi into membership, despite his influence within the coalition. ADC spokesperson Bolaji Abdullahi said We want Peter Obi to join us in building a political party that can reset Nigerian politics and provide a credible alternative. However, if zoning is a condition for Obi's participation, he might need to wait until the party reaches that stage. If zoning is a condition, well, ADC says zoning is not currently on the table, prioritizing instead to convince Nigerians of its credibility. Or Peter Obi expressed concern about the coalition's stability due to unresolved zoning issues. Abdullahi described the coalition as stable, highlighting the party's expansion to 27 to 28 states without holding political office. Well, Yunus Atanko, Obi's former campaign spokesman, urged the ADC to give Obi more time for consultation, signaling Obi's potential run for the 2027 presidency. We still have Comrade Destiny Enabulele and Prince Nixon Okwara. Well, I'm pretty sure the stance Prince Nixon will take on this one. So, but first, let me start off with let me start off with you, Comrade Destiny Enabulele. You're pointing fingers at me already. I haven't even asked the question yet. Well, do you think Obi should go? Because from what we have right now, it's pretty obvious that zoning is not on the table. Zoning is not on the table in the ADC. It's all about unseating President Tinubu in 2027. There's nothing about the South or the North during a particular number of years in office. Now, how do you react to this? Is this something you would like Peter Obi, with his influence, to dive into, if at all, there will be headway for another party to get into power in 2027?
Mr. Moses, before I answer this question, let me quickly stop from where Prince stops. I don't know, perhaps to raise...
You want to react to...
Yeah,
okay,
correct things. Yes. You see, when he said that Sarah is not acting in opposition, I sympathize with him very sincerely. The role of civil society or not-profits, it is to be a watchdog to everybody and to everybody. And that's exactly what Sarah has been doing over time, because I've worked with them at a time. In profit, in not-profits, they are what we call core mandates or core areas. And we all know the core areas of Sarah. That has to do economic and whatever. And INEC happens to be for... I think Prince needs to know that. He needs to know, because this issue of when somebody speaks or try to reveal certain ills and you not tell the person to be the evil of the government, it will not do us any good. Because we are all yearning for a state or perhaps a country that is good for all of us, where our children can go and vie for any position without knowing anybody. That's the country, that's the society we are clamoring for. Please, Mr. Prince, we need to get this so that...
All right, then. Your point has been made. Your point has been made. React to the question.
The issue of fighting corruption, sir. The issue of fighting corruption that he raised, that they are not with anybody. You and I know that the former governor of Delta State, Okowa, at a point was alleged. But today, we can't hear anything about the case. And today, he has been made whether the South Side or South coordinator for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and his case has been forgiven. Let us call it spade a spade. This country belongs to all of us, not for a selected individual. Nobody is more in Nigeria than I, Destiny Enabulele. I was born in Nigeria, and I'm a Nigerian. I wasn't born before the independence. So I'm more a Nigerian than many of them. To be very sincere. So for me, we must call it spade instead of identify. And let me try to go back to your question now. The issue of ADC. I've said this in other platforms. The ADC must sit back. The issue of saying they must work in isolation or PDP work in isolation, they must see. For me, I want all the opposition to come together and form a formidable force. That is the only way they can face this government that currently presiding over this country. Because with almost humility, the man at the end of affairs knows this game. He's a smart man. But whether it's intelligent, that is what I don't know. No, I've been saying this thing over and over. He's a very smart man.
Comrade Destiny, yes, let me ask you, should Obi join the ADC? What do you expect to be his role or his position in ADC?
You see, Obi is not becoming a movement. He's a figure, whether you like it or not in this country. He's a man that I like, but not love. I like him very well. That is me for you. So for Obi, for me, the kind of person we want now to take us from this quagmire is a man that is selfless. And I see it in Obi with utmost humility and simplicity. We don't need the core politician. Tell me to. I'm sorry. We need a man that is selfless, that can be able to, take Nigeria as a company. As a company. Although we are not yet there. Our former governor of Edo State tried to do that kind of show. That's the SY governor, Obaseki. But to some of us that time, we said, we are not yet there.
Okay, all right. Comrade, one last question before I bring in Prince Nixon. Now, if Obi joins the ADC, do you expect, is it possible for him to get to be on the ballot as a flag bearer? Do you see that happening?
I don't see that happening. You see, because I have been following the trend. I have been following the evolution of ADC. Because there are some, I'm not even a state leader, not to talk of a national leader. Those national leaders, with utmost humility, if they know what is good for us as a people, when I say us, not as ADC, as a country, they need to sit back. Let all of them bury their pride, their interests, and have a holistic interface. Holistic, where you and I, when I say you and I, those that are in the meeting, speak their mind freely. They will be able to arrive at a consensus. The issue of saying from the very admin issue, from the betting of the ADC, they've already zeroed in on somebody.
Okay, all right. Destiny, will you want Obi to run as running mate to Atiku Abubakar? Will you like that?
With utmost humility, yes and no, because I would want Obi to be in the pilot. In the pilot, I want him to be in the pilot because it will give the needed crowd and kind of sincerity and how would I put it? A kind of belief and trust from the people.
All right.
So that depends on who is that presidential candidate that he will not be the running mate to. Can he be the running mate, or can he be the president himself by way of the candidate of the party? Those are more than $1 million question.
Thank you so much.
To sit back and see how we answer it.
All right, thank you so much, Comrade Destiny, for submission. Prince Nixon Okwara, what do you make of this? The statement made by the ADC to Peter Obi. Make up your mind now. Some people will add before it's too late, and the fact that we have Eunice Tanko still on his own side saying that Obi will talk in no distant time. The former vice presidential candidate that ran with Peter Obi for the Labour Party in 2023 told Nigerians that Peter Obi is still a Labour Party member. What do you have to say about this? Do you see Obi moving into the ADC with the likes of Atiku Abubakar already picking the party membership card and other political bigwigs that we've seen align or join the ADC? And what do you think this will be? What do you think this will portend for the 2027 election?
Yeah, thank you very much for that question. The gospel truth here, if we have to say it the way it is, will be moving into ADC will be the worst mistake he will make. One is that the future of ADC is predetermined by its founder, in the sense that it's either Atiku or nobody. And I don't think it will be a very good political calculation. But be the fact that the most important thing for every politician is preservation, political preservation. Obi should look, if I was to be in his shoes, honestly speaking, I would drop a contesting 2027 election. Let me tell you something. I can personally equate to be like the Bernie Sanders of USA or Odinga of Kenya, who is almost a perennial contender. But one of the most important things Obi should be doing here now, like Bernie Sanders, who never won or become a president of America. But if you look at his political movements, youth-driven enthusiasm and those moral narrative has been able to reshape American politics and all that. Obi can be all that, and if eventually the nature permits and also political landscape permits, he can still become the president. But contesting and moving into ADC for 2023 would be his greatest political mistake. Let's take it from the fact that the leadership, the presidential candidates of ADC is already predetermined, like I likely said. And we know that the man who is going for that ticket is his side of the politics. He's the one that killed PDP. He almost destroyed PDP even under Obasanjo. So it's always the politics of it's either me or nobody.
Okay, all right, Prince. It looks like you are trying to redefine the dictionary definition of perennial. The last time I checked, Peter Obi has contested presidency only once.
Yeah,
so why is he becoming perennial?
No, why I'm saying, I said he has opportunity, because if he contests 2027 and lost, he will be like the perennial I used was for Odinga, who is perennial. So I'm telling you that he should, if I will advise him, he should just give up everything about 2027, because when you look at it, even the articles and the rest of them knows that they can only make an impact politically with the likes of Obi, maybe because of the southeastern.
All right, okay, all right. I'll take that as a concluding thought, but I think I missed something. What I got from you is that he looks like now Odinga and Benny Sanders and all of that. Oh, well, we must say a very big thank you to you, Prince Nixon Opera, for being part of the show. We also extend our warm regards to Comrade Destiny Enabolele, who was also part of this show. We appreciate your presence. We also had Barrister Darlington Agomo, who joined us in the morning show on the first topic of discussion. Well, I must say a very big thank you to you, gentlemen. On behalf of the backroom staff, the technical director, bus manager, the ingest manager, and the sound engineer, and my colleagues here, Moses Humphrey and Fina Okechukwu, I am Chukwu Mokoro. Must say a very big thank you to you for being part of this morning show. Now we'll go on a short break. At 10 o'clock, Moses and I will return for a newspaper review. Please do join us then. Bye for now.
We encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOP TV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television.
From the views on the streets
we go to bed empty hunger
to the blaring